There is something sitting 10 billion light years away that broke the rules the moment we found it. Not bent the rules, not pushed against them. Broke them, cleanly, the way you break a bone. It has no right to exist at the size it does. The math that governs how black holes grow, the physics that sets their upper limits, the timelines we use to explain how the universe assembled itself. TON 618 violates all of it. And the strangest part? It isn't hiding. It was sitting right there in the sky the entire time, screaming in radio waves, blazing across half the observable universe. And we still almost miss what it actually was. This is the story of the void that shouldn't be there. To understand why TON 618 is such a problem, you have to start with how black holes are supposed to work. A massive star burns through its fuel, collapses under its own gravity, and leaves behind a black hole. Small ones, a few times the mass of our sun, maybe up to 100. Then at the center of nearly every large galaxy sits the other kind, a supermassive black hole. Millions of billions of solar masses, built slowly over cosmic time through feeding and mergers. The black hole at the center of our Milky Way clocks in at about 4 million solar masses. Massive but comprehensible. The textbook said there was nothing beyond that, not because astronomers were incurious, but because the physics seemed to forbid it. There are natural limits to how fast a black hole can eat. Push it past a certain feeding rate, called the Eddington limit, and the radiation produces blows the infalling gas away. The black hole chokes on its own appetite. Growth slows. Growth stops. The universe, in theory, puts a ceiling on this. TON 618 went through the ceiling. It was first cataloged in the early 1970s as a faint radio source in the constellation Canes Venatici. For years it sat in databases, flagged and mostly ignored. The follow-up came decades later. Spectroscopic analysis, light broken into its wavelengths, each element's fingerprint shifted redder by the expansion of the universe. The redshift told the story immediately. TON 618 wasn't just far away. It was cosmically far away, more than 10 billion light-years distant. We're seeing it as it existed when the universe was barely a quarter of its current age. What we're seeing is a quasar, a black hole consuming so much matter that the infalling gas outshines entire galaxies. The accretion disk of TON 618 outshines a combined light of every star in the Milky Way by a factor of roughly 140 trillion. Not 140 trillion stars. 140 trillion Milky Ways worth of output from one object. That alone would make it remarkable, but it's the mass that changes everything. TON 618 weighs approximately 66 billion solar masses. 66 billion times the mass of our sun. Our own galactic black hole is 4 million solar masses. TON 618 is roughly 16,000 times heavier. If you replace the center of the Milky Way with TON 618, its event horizon would extend far beyond the orbit of Neptune, our entire solar system, swallowed whole with room to spare. The event horizon stretches approximately 1,300 astronomical units from its center. 1 astronomical unit is the distance from Earth to the Sun. TON 618's point of no return is 1,300 times that in every direction. End to end, that's a diameter of over 2,600 astronomical units. Light needs about 2 weeks to cross it. You could fit our solar system inside it 16 times over. This is not a hole. This is a territory. This is something that demands you rebuild your vocabulary before you try to describe it. And here's the counterintuitive part. The surface gravity at the event horizon of something this large is paradoxically mild. The tidal forces that would shred a human near a stellar mass black hole are nearly imperceptible at this scale. You could cross the boundary of TON 618 without feeling a thing, without knowing. The universe outside would gradually compress into a shrinking circle of light behind you. The death would come much later, deep inside, long after any warning could have reached you. That's the character of ultramassive black holes. They don't consume you dramatically. They just quietly include you in the list of things that no longer exist. Now here's where TON 618 becomes a genuine crisis for cosmology. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. TON 618 existed, as we see it, when the universe was roughly 3.5 billion years old. That means this black hole assembled 66 billion solar masses in under 4 billion years. Run that math. Start from a reasonable seed, even a generous one, 100,000 solar masses, to reach 66 billion, while feeding below the Eddington limit, which real black holes rarely sustain continuously, is effectively impossible under standard models. The equations produce a shortfall that can't be closed by tweaking parameters, which means either the models are wrong or something extraordinary happened in the early universe that we don't yet understand. Possibly both. One serious proposal: direct collapse black holes. In the very early universe, certain regions may have lacked conditions for normal star formation. Instead of a gas cloud fragmenting into individual stars, the whole cloud, 100,000 solar masses, collapsed directly into a single object. No star, no supernova, straight to black hole. A seed that size give the math a fighting chance. Another theory involves early merger chains. When the universe was younger, denser, and more chaotic, multiple massive black holes may have repeatedly converged in the same gravitational well and combined into something our current models of cosmic evolution didn't predict. Build a large enough seed through mergers, and the subsequent growth becomes at least plausible. Neither is proven. Both remain contested. What isn't contested is the size itself. Multiple independent measurements using spectral line widths point to the same answer every time. 66 billion solar masses. This isn't a rounding error. Ton 618 is likely no longer active. What we're seeing happened 10 billion years ago. Right now, in the present, the quasar phase is almost certainly ended. The gas supply exhausted. The accretion disk cooled. The blinding luminosity dimmed. The black hole itself is still there. Black holes don't evaporate on any timescale relevant to the current universe. Still holding 66 billion solar masses. Still curving space-time across a region larger than our solar neighborhood. It's just no longer screaming. What we received is a record, a light echo from the early universe, a photograph of a process that was already ancient before Earth had formed. The photons entering our telescopes left TON 618 10.4 billion years ago, when the universe was still assembling its first great structures, and they crossed the entire void to reach us carrying one message. Something impossible happened here. We got the message. We're still not entirely sure what to do with it. Ton 618 is not alone. Phoenix potentially exceeds 100 billion solar masses. Home 15A asterisk, at the center of a clustered galaxy, sits around 40 billion. These objects appear to form a class, a population of extreme outliers that the standard story of black hole growth can't comfortably explain. And those are just the ones we found. The ones that were feeding when their light left them, or sat in detectable structures, or fell within our survey coverage. The universe has no obligation to make itself visible to us. For every TON 618 that blazed its signal at the right moment, there may be dozens more that grew just as large and then went dark before we had instruments to catch them. Quiet now, cold, invisible. There is no known theoretical ceiling on black hole mass. General relativity doesn't forbid something growing to 200 billion solar masses or a trillion. The constraints are practical: available gas, feeding rates, how long quasar phases last, and those constraints are clearly less restrictive than we thought. We may be at the beginning of a structural revision in cosmology, not a minor update. A reconsideration of how the largest objects in the universe came to be, how many of them exist, and what role they play in the long story of cosmic evolution. There is a moment in every era of astronomy when the universe turns out to be more than we were ready for. Ton 618 is one of those moments. A black hole that exists in a size range we said wasn't supposed to exist, that formed faster than the physics allows, that outshone the entire visible universe from a single point, that erases everything around it with its own light, that we can locate to the arc second, measure to the billion, and still cannot fully explain. This is what the frontier cosmology actually looks like. Not clean answers. Objects that force revision. Assumptions quietly shattered. A universe that has been doing things we haven't accounted for since long before we were here to account for them. Ton 618 has been there for over 10 billion years. We only just started to understand how little we understand about it.